All right, so we are on our backs. You can notice what you notice about yourself lying on the floor, your breathing, your contact. And your length from your heels all the way through to the head, top of the head. The width of the shoulders, the length of the arms. And then let's hone in on the spine. So from the tail through the pelvis, through the lower back, the vertebrae there, the mid-back, where the ribs join the spine and help stabilize it. The large vertebrae at the base of the neck, and the relationship of the vertebrae of your neck to the floor. Does it feel like they're in a straight line? Or maybe if your head is on a pillow, then they're on a bit of an angle. Or it could be that this back of your neck is curving away from the floor, like a little bridge, and then sets down on your head. And unless you are having an issue and need to have a pillow behind your head, I would recommend not having a pillow behind your head because it will interfere with the movements we will be doing. So let's stand up our feet, and we've done probably thousands of times. Have them comfortably spread, the knees in the air, the feet on the floor, and begin to push and pull with the legs so that your pelvis rocks towards your head and your head rolls away from your pelvis. And then you pull with the legs and the pelvis turns, the tailbone turns towards the floor, the lower back arches, and the chin is tugged down. Now, we don't want to do this movement intentionally with the head. We want the spine to find it, to organize gradually. So push with the feet. You can notice with the feet and the legs, you can notice if one foot pushes more than the other. You might think that you're pushing with both feet, but sometimes it's that you're barely pushing with one side. So you can check that. There's a clear thrust up towards the head, and then the legs pull the skeleton down, and it rearranges itself. And there's no involvement in the abdominals. There's no involvement in the back muscles. This is purely being done in the legs. So that might be a new concept for you. And then once you feel that the movement is well organized and comfortable, begin to do it quicker. Begin to do it quicker. Bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing. Push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, so that your head just naturally begins to nod yes. And think that it's up, 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 up. You could even accentuate the up part. Up, 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 like posting on a horse. Except on a horse you wouldn't let your head nod yes like this. You'd want to keep it nice and straight. and then leave that and take a rest. What changed? Now stand only your right leg. Stand your right foot and bring your left arm long on the floor overhead. So you will need an arm length of floor overhead. You might want to angle yourself if you're running into antique trunks, dressers, and fireplaces. And find a place where you can place your arm up there. It doesn't have to be right next to the head. Your right arm is down by your side. Your left arm is along the floor. The elbow does not have to does not have to be on the floor. And now begin to push with the right foot and find the trajectory that goes through the body diagonally and causes an elongation in your left arm. So in other words, the push from the right foot causes the left arm to lengthen. If your arm is hovering, if you have shoulder issues, place something under it. Place something under it so that it can at least rest comfortably. And you have the feeling that the arm, the bones of the arm are pushed from the right foot through the back of the left hand. You can feel, or your elbow on your pillow, you can feel it getting longer. And the body doesn't intentionally lift. It's not quite rolling. Notice if your left shoulder blade is sliding. So we want to make sure that the left shoulder blade gets actually glued to the floor by the body weight. So it's not that we're pushing the back of the shoulder blade along the floor. We're pushing through the skeleton, and the weight of the body presses, especially the left side, is glued into the floor. Gets glued into the floor, and the ribs glide over the front of the shoulder blade on the interior. Think of it that way. And you push, and you push, and you organize it better and better. And once you feel you've found that pathway, then go ahead and start to make it a little quicker. Make the movement quicker and quicker, and notice what you do with your head. It's quite different now. Think of the ribs loosening and softening their attachments into the sternum and into the backbone. This is asymmetrical. What could you shake loose? Are you holding onto your head? Are your eyes fixed? Or is your jaw set? Can you soften those areas? And then notice if you're pulling and pushing with the left leg, and can you inhibit that? It kind of naturally wants to happen. So if you stand your right foot a little bit further out to the side, you might find a better pathway. And then you might find that you don't need to roll so much. We'll be rolling in a moment. See if you can actually keep the right side of the body on the floor and still find this diagonal that lengthens the left arm. See if you can leave the left leg quiet. Okay, good explorations. Let's take a rest. Stand your left foot out to the side a little bit. Bring your right arm on the floor long next to the head, overhead somewhere, resting on a pillow. If you need to rest the upper arm on a pillow, do that. And then find your push that goes through the body and lays down all the ribs on the right side, presses them into the floor, glues the right shoulder blade down into the floor, and then goes into the shoulder joint and lengthens the arm a bit. Play with which ribs you press into the floor, how you press them into the floor, how the leg allows, how you allow the ribs to be pressed by the pushing leg. If you can get as pure and as clear a line through yourself, softening. And then once you find that, aha, eureka, I have found this line, go ahead and make it quicker. Nice. Nice, nice. Your shoulder blade stays on the floor. Experiment with the position of your foot, the placement of your left foot. See how moving it out or in or further away or closer to changes the trajectory. So if the foot is right beneath the pelvis, the push is going to go mostly up. We want it to go to the on the diagonal. So the foot out to the side. And sometimes the pushing can't find the trajectory, but the pulling might find it better. Sometimes reverse engineering it. You can find, oh, I can pull with the leg and shorten the arm, and then just reverse that. That might be even clearer. Yeah, there we go. And accentuate the up, 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 up. And then leave it all, and lengthen down your leg, bring your arm down slowly, and take a rest. With your legs long as they are, find the same movement by pushing and pulling through the heels. We've done this many times, which means that the ankles will flex and extend and flex and extend, and you are pulling the floor with the heels and pushing the floor through the heels. Push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. And is the head nodding yes, all by itself, or is it sliding? If it's sliding, just listen to where you might be interfering with the ability of the head for the transmission to go through the spine completely. And now turn your palms down, rest your ankles if you need to, but turn your palms down, hands down by your sides on the floor, and push and pull the floor with your hands. The palms of your hands, your elbows, push and pull, push and pull. And then add the heels. So now you've got the arms, the shoulder girdle, the heels pushing and pulling. So the hands should not slide, they push and pull on the mat. And what does this change? And now accentuate the up, 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 up. You're pushing the neck all the way through the skull. You can think of that. The neck, you grow taller each time. And then leave it and rest. Stand up your feet a comfortable distance apart and raise the pelvis in the air a bit. Lift the pelvis away from the floor and push, pull with the legs. Leave the pelvis lifted and push and pull and push and pull. The pelvis is lifted. Push and pull and push and pull. And think of this as really elongating the neck. And you want to feel the shoulder blades, when you push up, that they're pulled down. They're pulled down like straps behind you. Push and push, push and push and push and push. Make sure your pelvis is not bucking, lifting and lowering, but it stays the same height, and you push and pull through the legs. The pelvis does not have to be lifted high at all. It can be an inch. Just enough to unweight it so that the tissues of the back can move more freely over the floor. You'll find just the right place. And accentuate the up, 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 up. And then help with the hands and the arms on the floor next to you. You can slow it down and find that push that pushes all the way through the neck. Lovely. Let the legs go down long. Lower the pelvis, rest the arms. Stand your feet and see if the pushing and pulling has improved from the first round. The push, you see if the movement passes more clearly through the spine, if the head moves better. And can you do it lightly and quickly, lightly and quickly, lightly and quickly, with no involvement of the abdominals. In fact, that the abdominals shake like jelly. That your insides, all the liquid, they sort of liquefy. It is very liquid in there. Everything jiggles and soft and sloshes around. Just with the legs, just with the legs. Is your neck rigid? Is the head sliding, or can the head roll? Is it free at the occiput? Can the chin come away from the throat and go closer? Okay, leave that. Rest a moment. Stand your right foot again. Bring your left arm again long on the floor overhead. And make a series of movements, pushing your right foot into the floor so that you roll to the left. Roll to the left. The left leg is straight. The left arm is straight. Think of them as being an axis. And I would recommend not having a pillow under your arm here because it's just going to make it more difficult. The idea is, yes, that we are going to roll up eventually onto the arm. Roll and organize yourself until eventually, not all at once, but eventually, after several passes, you can come up and onto the left arm with your left ear, which means the ribs have to soften, the head will have to lift somehow to get away from the floor and come up onto the arm. Make it very, very comfortable for yourself. Many times. You can also roll up onto a pillow. You could have a pillow next to your head, in between your arm and your head. And you could roll up onto the pillow. The pillow could sort of act as a bridge. Let's rest from that. Rest from that. We'll come back at it in a moment. Come again into the same position and roll up onto your left side, onto your left arm perhaps. Maybe in the rest something computed, something made it better. Maybe it's better, maybe it's easier now. Ah, yes, softer. And so come up onto your left side and stand your right foot close to your left leg so that the knee can be in the air. And you have a standing foot. Now, if you cannot do this, then you have a piece of furniture handy, such as Barbara can push her bed. So angle yourself, Barbara, so that the bed is at your feet and your head is at a right angle from your bed. Be at a right angle. The left leg is long, the left arm is long, and now begin to push and pull with the right leg. So now we're riding over the ribs on the left side. Now, it's not rolling forward and back, so check yourself there. It's going towards the head and towards the left heel on the side. So the pelvis has to make an adjustment and roll laterally like a wheel. The left side of the waist will come closer towards the floor. The floating ribs on the left side will come closer to the floor. The knee is in the air over the foot, not leaning. And push and grow taller and feel the end of the push. Listen to the head at the very end of the push. Is there a feeling that the head might go up, away from the arm? So let's help that happen. Wrap your right arm around the top of your head and take hold of your left temple or left ear. And now push all the ribs down into the floor. And at the end of the push, lift the head. Help the head lift. The arm is not behind the head, it's over the top of the head with the forearm. Take hold of your ear and help the head lift. Let the neck have a vacation. At the end of the push, there's nowhere to go but up. Up towards the ceiling. Take the face forward in line with your chest. Don't look at the floor, don't look at the ceiling. It's sideways. Think of your left ear coming closer to your right, I'm sorry, that would be impossible. Your right ear coming closer to your right shoulder. Help the head do that. At the top of the push. Soften and grow up and crest. Let the head crest away from the floor like a wave. So the ribs have to open down into the floor and close on the right side. Softly. Smooth, comfortable. It's true north, true south. And then at the end the head lifts. And let it all go. Let it all go. Come onto your backs and rest. Stand up your left leg. CD's going, no. Stand up your left leg, bring your right arm long, and begin your process, your investigation of rolling slowly and comfortably up onto the right side until you can comfortably lift the head and bring it to rest on your right arm, your right ear on your right arm, or on a pillow that you might have right next to your face. The idea of rolling up onto the arm is that we're using the weight of the body to open the ribs, to push things out of the way. Now, if there's pain, you mustn't work through pain. But if you're having challenges here, what if you think the next time you push the leg, think of the right leg getting longer, the left thigh getting longer, the entire spine getting longer, and the shoulders actually getting wider. Think of those 5 lines elongating in a way that might help the movement become lighter and better organized. So this is our first pass at it. Listen to the pushing foot. Listen to how the pelvis turns away from the leg, the left hip joint. What do you do with the left arm? What do you do with the left arm? What could you do with the left arm? You can have that arm bent. You can come up onto a bent arm that helps cushion the head. That would be a good intermediary situation for some of you. Where could you soften? Where could you lengthen? How could you breathe and make it better for yourself? And let's take a little rest and let the brain work that out. When you feel you've recovered, bring your left foot standing again and your right arm long again. And see if it's easier now to come up onto your right side with your right ear resting on your right arm or the pillow. And then stand your left leg so that it's a standing leg, not a leaning leg, which means you might need to stand it on your bed at your feet. It's your bed at your feet, because it will not pass through yeah, there we go. We want a lateral push. So begin to push with the foot, push and pull with the leg, and lengthen, and go up, and make sure you're not bucking. Make sure you're not turning right and left, that you're truly on the right side, like like if you were resting on a 2x4, you'd want to get the mass of your weight on top of your right side. Otherwise, you're going to fall off the 2x4. So balancing there on a narrow ledge, push and pull and push and pull, and listen to the top of the push. The top of the push. And what if you put your left hand, some of you have discovered, if you put your left hand in front of you, it can help stabilize you. You could even help this process of getting longer with the hand on the floor in front of you. It can help everything find up, up, up. And when with the head, at the end of the push, there's nowhere for the force to be expressed, so the head has to lift away from the floor, crests away from the floor, because the ribs are pushing down, 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 and closing on the top. So now help your head lift, help your head lift. Wrap your left arm around the top of your head. Take hold of your temple or your ear, or some of you will even be able to take hold of your jaw. Cradle your head in your hand and help it lift at the end of the push. At the end of the push. There we go. So you make a nice curve away from the floor. A nice arc away from the floor. The waist comes closer on the right side. The floating ribs press down into the floor. The armpit. What does the armpit do? Good. Leave it all and take a rest on your back. Bring your left leg to standing and cross your right thigh over your left thigh. Cross the back of your right thigh over the top of your left thigh. And now you have a pushing left leg. Push and pull and push and pull. Quite different. Quite different. Adjust your your left foot as you need to. Push and 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 push. And now stop pushing for a moment, and turn your face to the right. Bring your left arm behind the head. Take hold of your right ear. And again, at the top of the push, help the head lift. And soften the chest. Push and pull and push and pull. And at the top of the push, help the head lift. Now the hand is behind, the arm gets to be behind the head. Organize it slowly. Organize it slowly. Feel what presses down into the floor and what leaves the floor at the top of the push, and help the head lift with the face to the right. Face is turned to the right. Nice. Yeah, wait for the top, the lengthening, and then lift. So your maximum height, and then lift. And then see if you can make it all one movement, one smooth event. Timing is everything. And untangle that and take a rest. Stand your right leg, cross your left thigh over your right thigh, turn your face to the left and bring your right arm behind it. Take hold of your left ear. And make whatever adjustments you need to. So it's the right hand behind the head, Barbara. The other right hand. There you go. The left leg is on top. And now push. Find the pushing, 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 pushing. Easy. And organize it slowly. Now, organize it slowly so that you can find the end of the push where you've reached the end of growing taller, and then you help the head lift. The face is to the left. The right arm is behind the head. Now, are you using the abdominals to lift the head, or are you using the arm to help the head lift? And gradually organize this so that you can perhaps go a little quicker, but not at the expense of everything becoming jumbled and in pieces. Of course, quicker means that the movement will automatically become smaller. And let the air out. Let the air out so that the ribs can fold in the front. Let's take a rest. Please come onto your stomach. Spread your legs comfortably and bend your feet so that it's possible to stand on your toe tips. Parallel, with parallel legs. And rest your head on on the backs of your hands and find a pushing. So now we're going to push the skeleton along the floor. You'll have to bring the knees away from the floor by straightening them and push through the toes and the feet and relax the belly and the ribs into the floor. And you might lift the head just a bit so that you're not getting a nose burn, rug burn on your nose. And go up and up and up and up. Good. Pause. Turn your face to the right and bring your left arm long on the floor. Place your left ear on your left arm. turn the toes under and push through the toes. So now your left ear is resting on your left arm. Now just extend the right foot and push from the left foot. So everything is left, going up through the left side. Help with the right hand. Where would you place it on the floor to help? And think that this pushing helps your left armpit flatten towards the floor. Just think that. It might be happening for you very easily. But if it's not, just think it. Rest. Now extend the toes of the left foot and turn the toes of the right foot under. Bring your left ear again on your long left arm and find this trajectory. The left leg stays quiet. Well, it will react. I mean, it will respond to the movement. Think of pushing up so that things grow longer on a diagonal. So experiment with where you place the right foot. You might find that if you place it kind of out to the side, it's a very strange position to be in. But you might find a cleaner path. Leave it and rest on your back. Come again onto your belly, or continue resting if you need to, but come again onto your belly. Bring your right arm long overhead, your right ear on the back, on your right arm. Turn the toes of, well, start with both feet turned under and push through both feet through the skeleton. Softening the ribs, opening the right armpit, getting more and more comfortable with the head and neck. And then let the left foot go long and just push up through the right side. Push up through the right side. You can help with your left arm. Make it simpler, make it more comfortable. Good, this is really good exploring going on. Rest as you need to, but when you're ready, turn the other foot, the left toes under, extend the toes of the right foot, and find a push through. Experiment with where you place the left foot, beneath you, out to the side. And accentuate the up, 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 up. Good. Very good. Rest on your backs. Stand both your feet. Push up and up and up and up and feel how you go now. Jelly pudding pelvis. Liquid insides. Head nodding yes more freely. Oh, that looks so much nicer. Much more bouncy. So now take hold of your hair above your ears. Take hold of your hair above your ears or your scalp somehow. Find a way to, and push through the legs and pull your head away from the floor a little bit at the top of the push, at the end of the push. Feel lengthen and help the head lengthen even more by pulling on the hair. Now, I'm very curious why he chose to have us pull our hair above the ears, and I believe it has something to do with the jaw. It pulls the skin taut over the jaw. Maybe that's why he did it. I found it to be quite painful to pull my head by my ears, so I used my hair in the back of my head in line with my spine. You could try that too. Grab hold of fistfuls of hair, if you have fistfuls of hair, and pull at the end of the movement. Pull in such a way that the chin goes down before the head lifts. So your full length, the spine is at its full openness, and then you help the head lift. Symmetrically. Find your central axis. Not strong, not forcefully, just lengthen. Your brain hears whispering better than it does yelling. The gentle elongation, all the nice, very nice. Exhale when you do it. Exhale. And now let the legs go down long. Let the arms go down long. And just breathe. Sense yourself on the floor. And the next time you breathe out, open your mouth and exhale all the air out more than you normally would. Just all the way out and wait for the in-breath. And do that 3 times. So exhaling all the air out through an open mouth and waiting for the body to signal, okay, breathe in, and feel what that breath in feels like. And we'll call that a lesson. So you can stay resting on your back. You can roll to your side and bring yourself up to standing if you're curious about what your uprightness might be like. Take your time. And thank you. Thank you for coming.